I'm not going to waste your time in this video like all of the finance gurus out there on YouTube who make those clickbait videos. The top 7 side hustles to make $500 a day, and all of the thumbnails are like the dickheads doing this, like $500 a day. Shut up, okay? You watch these videos on YouTube, these finance guru, these make money online videos, you keep watching them and you're still broke. You are still broke. That means that those videos don't work. By the end of this video, you will be totally and utterly equipped. You will have exactly the real, no bullshit, unfiltered knowledge that you need to know to get to 10K a month. What you're going to learn in this video is what other people will charge you like $2,997,000 in a course. I'm going to give it to you for free. There's one thing that you need with this though. You need to be hyper-focused. You see, your attention span is well and truly fucked. And so by the start of this video, you've already scrolled down, haven't you? Be honest. You've already scrolled down to the comments, haven't you? Me even being like, exaggerated and criticizing some YouTubers, that still wasn't enough dopamine for you. You had to scroll down to the comments to get more dopamine. You had to look at your phone or some bullshit. Like you've been distracted from the start of this video, haven't you? So I know this is going to sound offensive, but you're probably not going to do this. But if you want this video to help you right now, and if you also want to transform your life, you need to realize that your attention is so fucked that you should probably see yourself as someone who's got learning disabilities. Like you're actually a little bit special. And not just you, obviously, the entire world is. And I know I sound like an asshole, but the fact that you can't even concentrate for like a minute, are you going to be successful with that? Are you going to go and be hyper-focused and be able to do your deep work? Are you going to be able to make something so amazing that you make a good amount of money if you can't even focus for more than a few minutes? Because there's some guys out there who can focus for an hour straight and they will always fuck you up. That guy who's in the gym, in the zone, will always fuck you up when you're the one who stares at yourself in the mirror or quickly checks or listens to a nice podcast. The same with your business work. When you're trying to level up your business and you can't focus, you will get fucked by the guy who can. So let this video that you're watching right now be your first official practice to hyper-focusing, to stare into my eyes as I talk to you and to take your hand off the mouse and off the phone. This is for your benefit. And honestly, it's for mine too. If you watch with more enthusiasm, then I'm sure like the YouTube AdSense will pay me more or something, right? But the thing is, I didn't know this stuff. 3 years ago in 2020, I was working for £9 an hour, so about $10, in a homeless accommodation, doing like customer service kind of shit. £9 an hour is what I was working for overnight as well. I was doing night shifts. But at the same time, I used to try and do some work on my laptop, like inside of my job. And I would try and learn these online businesses. I literally was trying like 7 businesses at once to try and think like what would stick. I was trying drop shipping and I actually made a few sites that made like a little bit of money. And I used to resell like girls' clothing and shit that I saw that was going like viral on eBay and Depop, like these other websites that you can sell on. I saw what was going popular there, and then I've made my own dropshipping site, and then I would like send like traffic from like Instagram, like I was learning the ropes, right? I wrote some ebooks, I made some YouTube videos, I tried rapping, like I'm not even joking, I literally tried becoming a rapper. I was just trying everything, bro. I was broke, I wasn't in like the education system anymore, I had no direction. I literally tried becoming a rapper, like I was there watching like how to rap guides, and I made one, like I wrote one like rap down. Animation as well. I thought animation was kind of cool, so I downloaded, like I got like a pirated, like cracked version of the software, like Adobe Animation or Flash, whatever it's called, and I'm like drawing something, then the next frame you make it move, like animations, like those little cartoons that move around and stuff. I was trying that. I was trying coding. So coding 3 years ago at the start of the lockdown was very popular. Lots of people were linking this online website called like Free Code Camp, and I was on there literally trying to like go through it. I was trying everything, and you might be in that stage right now. You're literally just looking online, just trying to get some ideas of like how do you actually go about making some money. And of course, guess what? I made no progress. So when you're trying like 6 businesses at once, you're not going to make any real progress. But the progress that we're looking for in that moment is simply just to decide which business we want to take forward. And for me, the one that I took forward, and also what I would recommend to you and to everyone out there, which is simply the best business. Like, let me make this very clear. It is the best business that is out there. This is the new gold rush. This is the new opportunity for wealth. For previous generations, it was the housing boom and the internet businesses and all this shit, right? I'm telling you right now that there is a gold rush that you might be missing out on. There is literally the best opportunity that we have to make money these days. And guess what? It's through social media. It's simply through social media, growing a social media following and then selling them something. This is the new meta of making money. I'm trying all these different things and I settle on YouTube. YouTube's something that I could do for years. I moved back home to my parents' home, and every single day I'm just putting hours into YouTube. I'm learning it more than everyone else. I see the guys who had 1 million subscribers, 2 million subscribers in the niche that I started. I started at literally 0 subscribers, right, 3 years ago, in the self-improvement niche. And I see these guys up there and I just think to myself, I can overtake them. I can take what I want to take what they've got. Every single person told me the self-improvement niche was too saturated. But when a man is hungry, you can't tell him shit. And so day in, day out, I'm putting hours into learning YouTube, into being on camera. I'm reading for hours. I stopped all of my bad habits. I've made lots of videos about that. Like literally, I had zero bad habits. 100% of my day was productive, and it still is. You can't compete with a guy who's this fucking ruthless. It's 6:30 right now. Apart from exercising today, like, you know, hitting my workout and eating, I'll be working till about 9 p.m. You can't like these people at the top that you see, they can't compete with a guy like me and maybe like you if you can instill this drive. So I had this idea that, yeah, of course I can take over these guys. So I'm growing my YouTube channel, and it's a slow growth. I start in May 2020, and it takes me 7 months to get to 1,000 subscribers, which is fairly slow. No one ever gave me a handout. No one ever shared my videos. These days, one person makes a video about me and gets like 5,000-10,000 subscribers. It took me 7 months of 2-3 videos a week by myself to get to 1,000 subscribers, making no money. Then that December, around 1,000 subscribers, I started online coaching. This was like my first online business, right? So online coaching is something that you could try. I wouldn't recommend it totally though. That's where you charge people for your time to hop on a video call with them and to give them advice about something that you've just done. So if, for example, you've quit watching porn, you could literally market that. You could set up, like, you know, the website. It's nice and easy to do. And you could just send some people there. You know, you make some YouTube videos that get some views, and you tell them, oh, click the link in the description, and they can book a call with you for like $40 for an hour. Which straight away is more than what like literally 99% of the world make, right? So as soon as you start coaching, even with no real experience other than like, yeah, like I've been going to the gym for a few months, so I can show you how to also go to the gym, or yeah, I improve my diet, or I quit playing video games. So if you're a video gamer and you want me to help you, then just book a call with me. You can literally set it to like $49 an hour, and straight, like, there's no reason why anyone in the world is making less than that, to be honest, because you can literally just start an online coaching business today. There's no, do you know what I mean? But that's still like a terrible business compared to what we're about to do. So I did the coaching thing. I made some money doing that. I started to make like £500 a month, £1,000 a month. I had like a couple of clients consistently, but it was draining on me, and when you have so many guys who you're helping empathetically, like, it just fucking drains you. Then in 2021, I made an online course. An online course is like it's kind of like a playlist of videos that you make private, that you package and sell for, you know, really rich people. And I made this course for $200, and once it was set up, it was just selling without me. I sent some, like, you know, some traffic there from my YouTube channel, make some videos and link it there. And this course ended out, I released it at exactly the same time that a video that I had previously made on the same topic blew up. So I made a video near the start of my, like, literally one of the first ever videos that I actually made on YouTube, even before I even like started YouTube. And that video was about like how to build your aesthetic body. That's might have been like how you found me originally. How to build your aesthetic body, no bullshit guide. That video blew up at the exact same time that I was just about ready to release a course that I had been secretly working on called How to Build an Aesthetic Body. It was by the luck, who knows, it was just totally lucky in that sense that the video blew up. I sold the course for $200, and suddenly I started making 10k a month from then on. I've never made under 10k a month from July 2021. I grew that a little bit, you know, the YouTube channel's growing, but I made a bunch of bad like business mistakes. You know, I wasn't like seeing myself as a businessman. I saw myself more of like a leader of like a movement that was global, and so I didn't really think about the business stuff. And so our income grew to some levels, but our expenses did, and suddenly the YouTube channel became like a massive thing that we had like 15 employees, and I was paying like some people like so much fucking money that I was just like losing money. Like, it just wasn't even ROI positive, and I was doing it just because I wanted to spread the message of self-improvement to people. And so we grew to such a large YouTube following. You saw like 1.5 million in just like a year after that, which is really fast growth. But then one day it just hit me, it was like, what the fuck is this? Spreading this message. It's like, yeah, sure, it's nice to do that, but my videos are edited, my videos are clickbait. I'm tired of this fucking top 7 ways to get girls and all this shit that you see like these shit fucking YouTubers make. I was tired of this, and I wanted to make some videos that actually really fucking help. And for me, the videos that have most helped me are these unfiltered, literally just, the guy just presses record and just gives you as much wisdom as possible in each video. His shitty team don't like, you know, like change anything to do with it or anything. Literally all I want is the smartest people across the world to literally just record videos like this, where they just press record and just keep talking for like fucking 3 hours about a specific concept. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, like, why don't I just do that? So suddenly I fired everyone, and my income didn't really go down that much. It was about £40,000. I fired everyone, so we didn't have any business expenses. I moved back home to my parents' house, so I don't have any personal expenses. So now I started to profit like a good amount. And then I was scared for a while. This is going to happen to you, so this is relevant, right? Especially with the business we're going to talk about today. I was scared for a while to make more money, because the nature of making money through social media is that a lot of people out there have got really fucked up beliefs when it comes to money. And so when an influencer, like when a YouTuber has something to sell, a lot of people automatically brand that guy as like as a scammer, a salesman, and you know, people will comment mean things. And I was genuinely, I'm not going to lie to you, bro, I was scared of that. I literally had a fear of seeing these comments of being called like a scammer, or oh, Hamza's got a new product to sell, oh, Hamza's trying to make money. I used to see people comment this, and it used to scare me, because you know, that's your brand that people are talking about. That's like, you know, people are talking about not just me, but like literally the YouTube channel, but like they're talking about me as a person. It's like, oh yeah, Hamza's just trying to make some money. You know, they say it in a negative way, and that fucking scared me for a while. I had fear because of this, and so I stayed like caged in, and I thought that like people would like me more if I didn't try to like sell to them. And so for a while, it's like I didn't live to my potential. My purpose layer as a masculine man was to achieve financial freedom, and I wasn't doing it because I was scared of what like these fucking like random guys would comment. These guys who have never commented before. I've never seen them comment before, and I was just scared of like what some random fucking like 13-year-old might say and say like, oh well, Hamza's just trying to make some money. Up until I had a conversation with another YouTuber called Andrew Kirby. Andrew Kirby is like this guy who used to make like self-improvement YouTube videos. You might have seen some of his videos back then, and he doesn't really make them these days. But I ended up connecting with him, and I just sent him a screenshot. We were just talking about money and stuff. I sent him a screenshot of how much I was making, and he ended up sending me like a 9-minute like Loom screen recording video, you know, with his like face on, where he was like, oh hey Hamza, you know, like the money you're making, like 20k from courses, 20k from AdSense, that's really good, but you could be making a lot more. And like he's saying it with enthusiasm of like, you know, you could do this, and man, you could make so much more. I'm so excited for you. Like literally just, he was enthusiastic about making more money, and something just clicked, and I was like, that's how I should be. Here is like a young businessman who essentially like retired himself at like age 22. Like he became very successful, saved up, you know, like $1 million or something. Now he never has to work again, right? This guy I'm talking about. And just seeing his enthusiasm for making money just changed my mindset, and I was like, that's what I should be like. And suddenly, I can't even tell you how important this is for me, and one day you're gonna feel this. I had like this huge weight lifted out of my brain, this constraints, these bullshit beliefs that if I was a businessman, that would make me a bad person. And suddenly like I got hit with this like fucking nostalgia of like, I started this all as an entrepreneur because I fucking love entrepreneurship. I love business, and I started to like pretend that wasn't me because I thought more people online would like me. Truthfully, not to be offensive to those guys, but I thought like fucking like, you know, more broke guys would like me if I was saying to them like, oh well yeah, see guys, I don't care about money. But then I always had this nagging thought in my mind of like, but you do, of course you do. And I realized like, that doesn't make me a bad person for wanting to make money. You want to make more money. Like sane people want to make more money. But there's some guys who are like at the bottom of the fucking like barrel, you know, like the bottom of the bucket crabs, who every single one of them is broke, right? And they will fucking criticize you as you get onto your business. When you make some profit and you want to announce it to your friends or maybe online, I'm telling you right now that you will experience the same kind of guys that I did, and they will make you feel like shit. They will make you question yourself. They will make you think that you're doing something illegal, that you're a scammer, that you're just a salesman, that you've changed. And for so long I was a pussy. I was afraid of seeing this. No longer. This doesn't mean that I'm some dickhead YouTuber who's gonna put like a 3-minute advertisement. I've never done one of those like cringe like sponsors there. But first, like, you know, like Lumen skincare product. Oh, you know, if this company didn't sponsor me, I'd still be talking about, like, no, you wouldn't. You fucking dumb. Every fucking skincare video, most of YouTube videos is literally just the guy just like sponsored it. I've never done one of that shit, right? So I'm not gonna like sell out. But fuck me, like seeing this guy's enthusiasm, Andrew Kirby, seeing his enthusiasm for my work and to make more money just suddenly hit me, and I was like, you know what? Making money is sick because it's kind of like a game, and it's also just, it's good to make money. So this was a major belief that was broken, and I made a new product, a kind of like a community. I made an online community called Adonis Academy, which is kind of like, we have this platform and we're very close. It's a very private community. It's not like a Discord. So I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just explaining the business that I made, like the product that I made, because we're going to get you to make one by the end of this video. You don't buy it or anything, right? I'm just going to explain it to you. Relax. Don't like think, oh, he's just trying to subtly pitch it to me. It's not for you. I made something called Adonis Academy, which is like this online private community. It's not on Discord, but you could kind of imagine it kind of like an exclusive Discord server, but it's not on Discord. It's on a different website called school.com. And the idea behind it was that I saw my Discord server used to be quite valuable for the people who would join. But recently it's got to like 200,000 members, and it's just fucking like, it's like a massive social media. Who gives a fuck? It's just massive now. There's no closeness to it. I remembered when my Discord had a few hundred members, and we used to be so close, we'd hop on calls. Like I'd just do, you know, like I used to charge people $1,000 for my calls. Literally, I'm not even taking the piss. I used to charge people over $1,000 for an hour of my time on a coaching call, and they would still leave good reviews because people thought that it was worth it. And on my Discord server, I just do it for free. I just hop on calls with people. I just help them just because it was like fun for me. And suddenly the Discord server just grew up to like hundreds of thousands, and I've never once made any money through Discord. And it just hit me one day. I was like, what is the point of this? It's this mass place which doesn't feel close anymore, and I stopped using it myself. And so I had the idea then, what if I make more of a private small group? I price point it really high, so I make it really expensive, hundreds of dollars a month. And that suddenly I started to think like, oh shit, you know what? I would serve the guys who joined. I would be close to them. If someone was paying me $400, $500 a month to join like this community, this private community, I would make it exceptional. I would give them everything. I would wake up and think about how I can help the guys in there. I would make sure that like every single day we're hopping on a call together just to have like a coffee or something to make, or, you know, to eat some dinner, to make sure that they're not doing it alone, because like I understand, like I've been there myself, and I'll make sure we can do like, we can meet up in person. I'm starting to get so many ideas. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna make a fuck ton of money from this. So if you want to know the real numbers, I'm not going to show you any fucking proof. You either believe me or you don't. But the truth is, the YouTube channel and the courses that I sold made £40,000 to £50,000 consistently, like per month, like for multiple months in a row, but we always had those expenses. We had like the £35,000 that I was spending in employee wages, and then my lifestyle in Dubai and stuff was like 10,000 a month. Now I don't have my lifestyle. I live at my parents' house for free, and I also don't have any employees. So suddenly it's like we have like the 40k, £50,000 that I used to make, and suddenly I'm making an extra 30 to 40,000 pounds from this new product. It's the last day of March 2023, and in this month I've made over $100,000. I don't expect you to believe me, because if I saw this video a few years ago, I would have thought, yeah, right, scammer, liar, whatever. I totally understand, because I used to have like that limiting belief myself. But just if you are one of these guys, like if there's any of these guys watching who think, oh yeah, right, you made 100k per month, yeah, doubt it, bro. If there's any of these guys watching, I really don't want to be insulting to you, but I promise you, if you right now you just thought like, yeah, he's got to be lying about the 100k, I promise you, the beliefs that you have about money are the most important thing. I promise you that you can save years of your journey just by investigating your beliefs and trying to think why you think this is impossible, why this is unreasonable. How do you think people become millionaires? Well, they make 100k a month. They just become really fucking successful in their business. And you see these guys online that talk about, oh yeah, well last year we did 7 million and we did this and we did this, and it doesn't even register in your brain. You think, no, he's got to be lying, and so you close it off. Yeah, right, dude. You close it off, and you just go back to watching one of those like clickbait videos, like how to make $500 a day passively. You know, like the fucking thumbnail of the finance group like this, or like the top 7 ways. You know, they're holding money there. The top 7 ways to make 500. You go back to those videos because that's something that you can imagine. And I promise you that if you do that, if you go back to those videos, if you go back to just where you're comfortable trying to make, you know, $100 a day or something, you'll never actually make any progress. Your beliefs about money totally cause how much money you make. You saw that my belief about money changed when I spoke to this guy, Andrew Kirby, and suddenly I doubled how much money I was making in one conversation. Just because he destroyed a belief in my mind that was something like, I believe making money makes me a bad person. The way that this guy that I spoke to had spoke to me, his belief like kind of implanted into my mind that making money is awesome and it's exciting and let's be enthusiastic about it. And then there was nothing holding me back. It's like that thing that was holding me back, the constraint was just destroyed. There's another constraint that I'm on now, like who knows what it is just now, you know, I'm still trying to find out what the next thing is. $100,000 in March 2023. I have no expenses. I'm soon going to be making so much money that I'm literally going to have to juggle it around multiple banks, and it's going to feel unsafe because in the UK, banks only protect you for like £85,000. Like if you have more than £85,000 in a bank, it's like, it's not safe. I'm genuinely going to have to open up like as many banks as possible to start storing the profit that I've got. I don't expect you to fully believe me. I've got nothing to sell you. I have my Adonis Academy, but it's not really for you. It's more for just guys who just want to be like social on self-improvement and stuff. And so for you, like the young guy who really wants to get into business, I have literally nothing to sell you. I don't expect you to believe me, but if you can, or if you can just be open to it and follow for the rest of this guide, I think you're going to find this very fucking valuable. I've never been given money. I've never been given a handout. I kind of wish I was in some places. No one ever helped me with like my YouTube channel to help me grow faster. No one ever shared my videos. No one ever gave me like free money. My father's a taxi driver. Like, I haven't had that starting point that you might think, you know, like if the first thought when someone's making a lot of money, the first limited belief you can have is like, oh, he's lying, he's a scammer or anything like this. Then it's like, oh, well, he was given it. His parents are really rich or something. My mum has never worked. She's always been at like a Muslim housewife, and my dad's a taxi driver. And before he was a taxi driver, he owned a shop, a corner store. No one ever gave me like a free handout. Like, you know, I'm not being ungrateful. My parents, of course, I still get to live in a fucking house. I still get to go to school. But I mean, no one ever gave me, you know, like, oh, hey son, like, you know, here's some trust fund money or some shit. Never had that. Never went to a private school or any bullshit like that, right? This is possible. We're going to talk now about something which I find very interesting. And if you've ever played video games, I think you'll find this interesting too. There is a new meta. Before I go through this section, I just want to remind you, your success in business, in life, in relationships, and how much this video helps you comes down to you being focused. We've just went through, you know, my story and stuff, and maybe you found it interesting. Usually like attention, your focus will dip down every section that we go over. Take this moment right now just to remember, if you really want this to help you, stay focused. Don't scroll down to the comments. Don't quickly check your phone. Don't open up another tab, you know, just listening to this like a podcast. This is going to be like 2 hours of your life. If you really want this to help you, stare into my eyes as I talk and just give it your full attention. Instead of continuously watching 10 minutes, 20 minutes of YouTube 5 times a day, watching these shit videos which don't even help you. It's like, why not just put in 2 hours just watching this video? And I guarantee you won't need to watch other finance, money related videos for weeks after this. It's worth your time. I'm going to expose all of the secrets to you, step by step. At the end of this video, I'll also ask you if you think that this is worth more than like $2,000 that people charge courses for or something. And I'm literally just making it for free for you. Obviously, technically it's not free. You have to put your time into it, but you get what I mean. There is a new meta for making money. Have you heard of the word before? Meta. M-E-T-A. So meta is like this, kind of like this video gamer word, an acronym, right? Meta. M-E-T-A. And it's something that video gamers, like nerds, kind of use to describe the game that they play. M-E-T-A, meta. And it stands for most effective tactic available. Meta. So I used to play League of Legends. I was like quite a big gamer, right? I used to play League of Legends. I was never like that amazing, right? But the nerds of League of Legends, you know, on Reddit or whatever, every like couple of months they would talk about the meta, that the meta was changing. The meta is the most effective way to like play the game. And so, you know, there'd be like a change by the people who made League of Legends, like Riot Games, you know, like the people who design all the code and stuff. And they'd end up making like a patch saying like, oh, like we've changed this champion, you know, we've updated this champion and he's going to do like 5% extra damage and he can now jump over walls. And you know, it seems kind of small up until those top tier nerds who are really good at the game show some new like tactic that they can use because of this small update. And suddenly there becomes like a new meta. There becomes a new way to play the game that's actually better than the way we were currently playing. And so the guy who then follows this new meta and does the thing that's really working well usually wins like 9 times out of 10. Is this making sense? If you've not played video games, you might not understand, but essentially there is always a meta in everything that we do, which is like, it's like the most effective way to do the thing. So in League of Legends, it used to be like to play like these champions, you know, these characters that had like loads of health and loads of defense, like tanks, right? Like really like buff, like chariot champions or some shit, right? And that used to be the meta. But then there was a new item that was released that's really good for this particular kind of champion. And suddenly the meta for like ADC, like champions who've got guns, suddenly that's like, oh shit, that's like how you play these days. That's okay, that's the best one. And so the guys with guns are doing really, really well. Up until suddenly there's another update, or someone, you know, some nerd has been experimenting with something and he realizes, wait, we can counter these guys with guns with this kind of tactic. And so that new tactic becomes the meta. Does that make sense? And you see this in real life in the UFC. I'm not like such a UFC fan or anything, but this right now, it seems like the meta of like the Khabib Dagestanian wrestling. So Khabib came in, and then there's been other guys who've come in from like the same gym as him who have been training in the exact style of wrestling that seems to destroy everyone in the UFC, you know, in like the fight cages. And I don't know, like I've not been watching, so maybe it's already happened, but I assume that kind of wrestling style will dominate. It's the meta up until there'll be some kind of new style that counters it really well, and that new style will be the new meta. This is how the meta works, right? If you play with an old meta, you're up against a disadvantage. Imagine being one of those guys who is playing the old meta, and then Khabib comes in and does this like wrestling style that's so fucking effective that you've never trained against it. Imagine being the guys with the guns on League of Legends, and suddenly there's a new meta, this new item that's really good for this other kind of champion, and he just fucking destroys you. This is the new meta, and there is a new meta when it comes to making money. If I've done my job explaining this right, you should be getting very fucking interested at this, because since there's a new meta, that likely means that you're actually playing the old one, that we've all played the old meta for most of our lives. Can you think about what the old meta, the effective tactic for making money would have been? What is the old meta for making money? Think about it. What was like widely known as like, yep, this is how we make money, this is how we like, you know, become successful? What was it? It's not like a particular business or anything, it's a life path, and it's so ingrained in us. Like it was the assumed meta for so fucking long that it might not even be in your brain right now. What is it? The education system. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, be a good boy, get a promotion, buy a house, mortgage, sweet, happy. That used to be the old meta. That used to be like the best way to live your life. It genuinely did. Like these days it's like, we know, like, shut up grandpa, we know like the fucking, you know, education system's just stupid as fuck. We know that even most degrees are just shit anyway. Like, 99% of degrees are shit. We know this stuff, right? Anyone who fucking these days tells you like, oh yeah, well, go to school, it's like, we look at it like as if it's you know, just stupid. We know that's wrong. But that was the old meta. And so you might think that the new meta is that of just making money online, but it's not, because that's too broad. Making money online comes down to 50 different businesses, and this is like, you know, the shit videos that say like, oh, the top 9 side hustles that you can make that will get you $500, and it's just a shit video of someone saying like the same things as always. Number 1, affiliate marketing. Number 2, dropshipping, ebooks, agency, YouTube. Like, they're just saying shit, right? They're the new meta. You want to know exactly what it is? It's becoming a synthesizer. And if you can understand this word, you're going to go on to making a lot of money. Synthesizer. First, I'm just going to tell you a very quick story. Just a few days ago, I hopped on a call with someone, and he's a young man, and he wanted to start making money online. And he said that his purpose could be to help people. That's, you know, like, it seemed kind of broad, right? Like, I want to help people, and if I can make money doing it, then that's awesome. So I asked him, okay, well, how can you do that? And he says, well, you know, I'm looking at like some degrees right now. I could go to university and get like a counseling degree or something, and then I could start, or like, you know, therapy degree or some shit, and I could start becoming like a therapist for people. What do you think? He asked me this, right? Bro, I chuckled. I honestly chuckled. I'm saying this to him, right? Bro, you're gonna go to university for 3-4 years, get this degree, and then find out if this life path is for you, and then find out if you enjoy helping people with their problems. No offense, bro, but that's actually kind of stupid. And he looks at me a bit weird. It's like, but he's looking kind of excited because he can tell that I've got a better idea for him. I'm like, you want to find out if helping people is your purpose? Start doing coaching calls today. Hey, like, you know, there's a 5-step process to doing coaching calls. Literally just set up your fucking call calendar, which you can go find like on any like website or some shit. Set up your call calendar, send a link to people, and then just send some people to that link. I said, you can charge that today at $29, $39, $49 an hour. Go make a bunch of YouTube videos about the specific problem that you're going to help people with. So for him, we said, okay, what about quitting video games? And it's like, okay, go make a bunch of videos like how to quit video games in 14 days, how I quit playing video games, how I quit playing League of Legends. Go make a bunch of videos, and inside every video just say, oh yeah, like click on that top link in the description and I'll personally help you with quitting video games. We can do it together, and charge $49 an hour. And guess what? You can set that up today and you will make 3 times as much as those people with a counseling or a therapy degree today. There's people going to university, studying for years, getting into debt, and they will make less money than you today. This is the new meta. Utilizing social media, the internet, and certain business models so you can shortcut the process and you can genuinely start making money fast. Again, this isn't some clickbait video. I've got nothing to sell you, so relax. This is the new meta. And if you're not playing this meta, you will get fucking destroyed. If you're not playing this meta, you'll be the equivalent to the guy like tapping out as you're getting like wrestled by the guy who's playing the meta. To go to school for 4 years to just to find out if you like, you know, just to hop on a call with someone and help them with their problems. You can do that today. This is what blows my mind, because not only can you do it today, you can make a lot more money doing it. And you might think, think, oh, but you know, like, shouldn't I be qualified to do this? You know, shouldn't I get the therapy degree or something first, the counseling degree? Guess what, bro? Most people don't give a fuck about your official qualifications. You know, I mentioned that course that I made that made 10K a month, right? I've made more in 1 year than most personal trainers, qualified personal trainers who have studied and got the qualification, and some of them have a sports science degree, or other of them have like personal training certificates. I made more as a guy with no qualification in 1 year than most personal trainers make in 5. I didn't ever get the personal training degree. You know what's very interesting? I'm just going to very quickly just make a point here that qualifications and degrees actually make you broke. You know why? Because before you become a personal trainer, you can hop on and be a fitness coach online, a health coach, and you can literally charge hundreds of dollars an hour for your time. You can literally charge hundreds of dollars an hour just calling yourself a coach. A coach, like being a coach, doesn't need any qualifications. It's just like if someone likes you and thinks that you're valuable, they'll pay you for it, right? And of course, you have to like demonstrate that you know what you're talking about, right? You can genuinely start like a health coaching business, a fitness coaching business, and make $100, $200, $300 an hour. And the moment that same person who's making so much money thinks, oh, but you know, a qualification would be really nice, the moment that he gets the same personal training qualification as everyone else, how much he can make just goes back down to $30 an hour, because now he's the same as everyone else who's got the qualification. The same with the therapy degree. You could have, let's say, a big YouTube channel where you talk about specific mental problems and you've got good experience of this, you really helped yourself with it, you've helped a couple of people, so you know you're good at this, and you know that you're good on like calls and stuff, and you charge $100 an hour for it. Or let's say even $300 an hour. You target like high level CEOs, you target high level YouTubers, and you say to them like, I'm going to help you be more productive because there's some deep psychological shit that we can uncover that will help you become more like high performance, right? And you're making $300 an hour just being a mental health coach. And the moment that you get your therapist degree or your counseling degree, you then have to price yourself roughly at the same as every fucking other counselor or therapist, which is like $50 or $100 an hour. Degrees and qualifications and certifications literally make you broke these days. That is the old meta. And the thing is, for most young people, the kind of people that we want to work with, they're not going to ask you like, oh, so what year did you graduate in? Can you show me proof of your degree? Oh, they fuck, bro. No one has ever fucking asked me for my degree. I've got a degree, right? No one's ever asked me for that. No one's ever asked me before we hop on a call to, you know, I'm going to teach them about mental health. No one's ever messaged me like, oh, but you know, bro, I would buy this, but only if you had a mental health. Shut the fuck up, bro. If so, like, no one's ever even messaged me that. Because if someone wants an official therapist with 20 years experience, they'll go there. The beauty of this new meta is that people will come, not because you have this certain qualification in your fucking CV. They'll come because of you. You become the qualification yourself. You become like the professional yourself. So that word that I mentioned to you, synthesizer, the new meta is to become a synthesizer. There's a process of being a synthesizer, right? So a synthesizer is kind of like someone who takes, let's make it like this. You right now are watching a bunch of videos. You're watching podcasts, YouTube channels, you're reading books, you're consuming Twitter and stuff, right? You would be a synthesizer if you took that knowledge that you were getting from all these different sources and packaged it together to help someone with a specific problem. It's exactly what you're seeing in this video. For example, what you're seeing in this video, the knowledge which I'm giving you in this video, has taken me years to get myself, right? I made the business myself. I tried multiple different business models. I've watched maybe 1,000 hours of content, of learning, of reading business books and everything, right? And I'm putting that into like a 2-hour video for you. I have synthesized probably about more than 1,000 hours of learning and implementing into a 2-hour video for you. This is me synthesizing. The process of being a synthesizer is that you consume content, you learn, you use it in your life, and then you just teach it in a faster way. So let me give you some examples. Have you seen Andrew Huberman's podcast, Huberman Lab? He is a great synthesizer, because before Andrew Huberman came out, you know, some nerds online would say like, oh, but can you cite the study? You know, like they talk about research and stuff, but usually not that much, right? If you've ever looked at those websites and when someone does cite the research and you ever click on the link, you realize it's like, you can't even fucking read it, can you? It's like, it's literally just in like nerd speak. It's barely like readable. You can only see the abstract without paying for it anyway. So it's like, people used to say like, oh, can you cite the study and stuff? But none of us, like normal people, understood like that scientific research that someone would mention, right? Andrew Huberman came along. He understood that research. He would read the papers with his team, and then he would make a podcast where us like non-sciencey folk could understand it. He synthesized these articles that usually were just like, you know, they were like, these scientists would literally spend a lot of time making these studies and this research, and they would upload it to like these articles, these journals, and no normal people would even read it. So Huberman came along with his team. They'd distill, like, you know, they'd read over all of the data, they'd structure it in a really nice podcast, and they synthesize it for us so that we can use that big thing. And now he makes more than $1 million a year, easily more than $1 million a year. His competitors, who also are professors at, you know, Harvard University or something, they all make like 200K. Huberman's becoming 5 to 10 times more successful than the guys that he works with in his universities because he became a synthesizer online. That's powerful. The reason why this is so powerful is because it's incredibly fast to make money. In 3 years of my business, I cracked 100K a month. It still blows my mind. I'm not talking about a yearly salary. I'm talking about in March 2023, and we haven't even finished this month. It's still Friday the 31st. I made 100K. It would take a doctor, 5-6 years of education and then multiple years to build up to literally get onto a salary, an annual yearly salary of 100K. I make that in a month, and I'm just a guy in a bathrobe. This is the new meta. And if you're not taking part in this, you are going to be left behind. And a beautiful thing about being a synthesizer, like what we're talking about here, which I'll explain more soon, a beautiful extra benefit is that it is actually extremely purposeful. In the old days, it used to be that you would need to go to school, get a job, and try and level up in that career, whilst knowing that there was something else you may have been interested in, whilst knowing that you had like a masculine purpose elsewhere. These days, like the way that I'm living my life, I'm following my purpose. I'm following my passion and my interests, and I'm just making a fuck ton of money whilst doing that. Think about how incredible that is to say. I get to follow, like being a synthesizer, which you can do, and I'll walk you through the entire process. As a synthesizer, you literally get to follow your real interest, you get to fulfill your purpose, and you make more money than those people at the top of like the education system, like the doctors and the software developers and all that shit. So there is a step-by-step process for being a synthesizer, for this new meta of making money. There's 5 steps. Learn, implement, teach, brand, and monetize. Learn, implement, teach, brand, monetize. 5 steps, and we're going to go over them in this video. The goal of this section that we've just covered was for you to understand the new meta. If right now you're a little bit unsure and you got a little bit distracted, it'd be worth your time to just rewind and just rewatch this section at normal speed, just so you totally understand like what we're talking about here. You're genuinely going to make more money if you do that. Now, for this section, for section 2 on learning, this is the first real part of being a synthesizer. So the goal of this section right now is for you to understand that consuming content isn't actually a bad thing. You've seen online of how negative people are about consuming content, haven't you? You've seen like, okay, consuming content is a bad habit. We don't do that. And even people say, like so many people say this, right? Stop watching self-improvement videos. Stop watching podcasts. Oh, I stopped watching Hamza because, in the end, you've got to make sure you take action. That sounds so true, doesn't it? You'd stop watching self-improvement content, stop watching, like podcasts, whatever, if you're not going to take action. That sounds so true. It's actually totally false. You see, the first step of being a synthesizer is to allow your interests to take you to wherever you want to learn, and to just understand that learning in and of itself is a purely positive thing. To understand that if you spend 2 hours watching an Andrew Huberman podcast, that's actually like a good, valuable use of your time. So look, a lot of people online say that consuming content is a bad thing, and I have for a while, but I've realized now that actually you need to consume the content, and it can be YouTube videos, it can be podcasts, it can be books. I think books are probably like the best. I think books are actually the best way to go about it. But you need to consume and learn to become a synthesizer, and especially to learn from the people who are quite in the mainstream of our niche. So for example, if you're a guy who likes to learn online and improve his life, there's going to be some people who are rising up right now, like for example, Andrew Huberman. And so you could watch his podcasts and people will tell you that, oh, but that's consuming content, that's a bad thing. But it's truly not, because 1, you're learning, and 2, even if you're not going to use that information right away, you should. But let's just say, some guys end up watching but not really taking action. And so we all say, oh, well, yeah, you shouldn't, you've got to make sure you take action. But the truth is, the reason why we learn is so that our brain, those neurons and stuff, they start to connect the dots and we start to form new beliefs. Because those beliefs, even if we don't immediately go and take action, those beliefs do start to change our actions in the future. I didn't actually make much progress for the first few months of like my YouTube and my self-improvement journey in 2020 because I refused to watch content. I literally spent all day just, taking action and stuff. And I made good progress, in my fitness and stuff. But the truth was, I didn't make good progress in my YouTube channel and my business and making money. Why? Because I didn't know exactly what to do. It seems simple. Yeah, just upload videos. But when you didn't know like the monetization tactics and the marketing ideas and everything that you use, that you get from learning from other people, then it's like you're shooting in the dark. Like, why should we, just learn through doing? It sounds so awesome. Why would you do that when there's literally someone who's done it who can just tell you what to do to get to his point, and then we can go faster than him? So it sounds cool, and there's gonna be, you can go and have a look, there'll be like some, maybe not now, but like usually if I made this video, there's always like some self-improvement bots, like some guys who like literally, I don't know, either brain dead or they're literally just fucking AI robots or something, who comment the same thing, like, oh yeah, but learning without taking action isn't good for you. It's like, it actually fucking is, because learning in itself is valuable. I'm telling you, as someone who didn't learn much for the first few months of his like self-improvement journey, and just, I just took action and I got shredded. Okay, sweet, I was exercising loads, fine, but I didn't make much progress in my business because I didn't know exactly what to do. And then when I started to like intuit, like really intentionally consume content, especially recently, intentionally learn from people who are better than me, more advanced, it blows my mind that this is seen as negative these days. And I'm not saying this to like hopefully encourage you get it, bro, watch my videos. I'm not saying it to encourage you to watch my videos. I'm saying because there's some people out there like Alex Hormozi, Andrew Huberman, they do full-length podcasts that are genuinely life-changing. And to not watch them because you're scared of consuming content is silly. For the last good few months, and really in the last month, I've been very intentionally consuming like a lot of content. And I'm telling you right now, it is extremely valuable. Very, very valuable. For the last month, I've been watching like Alex Hormozi videos, every podcast he's done, every video he releases. I'm going through his entire channel, getting so many fucking good ideas. And yes, I'm implementing them, but you only get to implement and take action on the things that you actually learn in the first place. Trying to take action without knowing what to do is just stupid. It's like for example, would we tell a beginner to just go to the gym and just no, don't look at any stuff online. Don't try and get a workout routine. Just go to the gym. Sure, that can be advice, like, you know, some good advice for someone who's overthinking things. But the best case scenario, before or maybe as soon as someone goes to the gym, we'll tell them, okay, before you do any like risky shit in the gym, go online and go and watch the form videos of like the 50 exercises you're going to do. Go and watch, you know, like how to squat safely. You'd tell them to learn that, wouldn't you? Of course we would. It's incredibly valuable. Think about that. How valuable, like how much difference will two guys be? One guy who researches how to lift weights correctly, and he goes before, like, you know, let's say he's in the gym right now, just before he's about to bench press, he learns. He goes onto the YouTube app and he searches how to bench press safely, compared to the guy who just never does that because he says, yeah, I'm just taking action. Yeah, you got to do the work first. Who's going to make better progress for their entire life? This guy. Now, of course, if this guy's like, you know, like a wimp, and he now uses that to not take action, and he's like, oh yeah, well, I'm not going to go to the gym up until I'm really ready. Okay, fair enough. But that's like a different problem altogether. But if you're like a guy like us, and you're masculine enough to want to take action, then learning is incredibly valuable. I'm making a lot of money now, and I swear to God, it's because I'm literally just learning from people who are more intelligent and more advanced than I am. It's as simple as that. Now, you might think, okay, this sounds true, but consuming content, you know, self-improvement videos and reading books, consuming content without taking action is a bad thing, right? I used to think so too, but I'm actually changing my mind on that because I've seen the same pattern in myself and also so many guys on because I've done really well in self-improvement for myself, but then also like, you know, my YouTube channel is about self-improvement. So I've come across a lot of guys who've told me their story, right? I've probably like experienced more guys telling me about self-improvement than maybe like anyone else in the entire fucking world. When you really think about it, I'm probably in the top, like maybe there's 10 guys who are next to me in terms of men who have, like, you know, heard about self-improvement problems. When you really think about how crazy that is, like how many guys would tell me their self-improvement stories because I've got like a YouTube channel which is almost 2 million subscribers in this niche, right? So I've got an understanding of what it takes to improve yourself way better than like a normal person does, right? And I'm telling you right now, I see the same pattern in probably around 30% of people. And that pattern, they always tell me, is that they consumed this content for a while and always felt like they were wasting their time because they weren't taking action. And then they started to take action afterwards. You know, when people would say this, I would say to them, yeah, you know, you've got to make sure you take action. But now when a guy says like, oh, Hamza, you know, I watch all the videos, I watch the podcast and stuff, but I'm not taking action, I tell them this story that I've spoke to so many guys who went through this phase of like consuming but not taking action, consuming but not implementing. And I tell them that I've seen it was what I was doing for a good few months before I even started self-improvement. I was watching the self-improvement videos, getting pissed off at myself, thinking like, oh, well, I'm not being productive and, you know, I'm not taking action. I realize now it's productive because it changes your beliefs and it makes you like agitated. You start to realize, you know, the life you could be living. And even if you're not taking action to that, you're thinking about it, which is still valuable. So we need to change right now this belief that we have that consuming content is a bad thing, because this is how we learn in the modern day. We will take action, 100% we will take action, but of course, like, how are you going to know which action to take if you don't learn it in the first place? So this is exactly what you were going to do for this step right now. Consume the content of intelligent people who are more advanced than you in a particular area that you're really interested in. And this can be anything, right? You clicked on this video to learn to make money, but we're going to make money by our real interest. So maybe your interest is actually money and finance and investing, but maybe it's self-improvement, maybe it's semen retention, maybe it's exercising, maybe it's building a body that's really attractive, maybe it's getting girls, maybe it's health, whatever it is, right? What is your real interest? If money didn't even exist, what is like your real interest, which real fucking like the thing that your brain just thinks about all the time? Start to look at the best guys in there, the guys who are really intelligent. Look at some of the guys who are big influencers in that space, but then look at some of the guys who are big, like, you know, like the sciencey, like authority figures in that sense. So for example, there's fitness influencers who will teach you, you know, their personality and their, like, you know, their kind of like fun mindset, real mindset to doing things. But then there's like the fitness, like science guys, and they'll teach you the real research. Look at both, consume their content, read their books, learn from their podcasts, and learn from where they've learned. And this is incredibly valuable because you probably have done this for some topic already, haven't you? You've probably, like, if you imagine right now, there's probably some kind of topic of life that you just for fun watch YouTube videos on, and it's kind of educational. It's like for a lot of guys in our space, it'll be like fitness. You literally for fun will watch guys literally just lifting weights and telling you about their diets. Maybe that's you. Maybe it's like, you know, it's a different topic, but there is one already for you, isn't there? And you've probably thought to yourself, like, I mean, I would kind of enjoy doing that. You know, the YouTuber that you're watching, the fitness YouTuber or something. You've probably thought to yourself, like, yeah, that would probably be like kind of like a nice job in some ways. Like, you know, I wouldn't do it like this, but I'd probably do it like this. But nah, I can't really do it. I probably wouldn't be so successful doing that. Very interesting, isn't it? So there is a topic that you already are interested in, and it might literally be about money. So that's also like, you know, what you're interested in by watching this. It's probably is money as well. Fill up your mind of the thoughts of these intelligent people, and if you can go to the next level, most guys will just stay here and just consume the content, and that's really good to begin with, right? But if you can go to the next level, this requires spending money. Speak to those people that you actually look up to. Get coaching from them. Get mentorship. See if they've got any programs. So let's say you're really, really into fitness, and there's like this fitness researcher who's got like this science-based fitness course. Buy it. Literally just buy it, because how much you will learn from like their premium products is way more. This is your education. Do you know, in the old meta, it's just assumed that we want to spend like fucking 9 grand a year in the education system, and no one even bats an eye as if that's weird. But there's like a guy that you've been watching on YouTube for years who's selling something for like $200, and we're scared to buy it these days. That's education. We've always said, haven't we always said, we'll invest in our education? We're students for life. Well, this is education, and you can pay for education, and you usually get such a better service, and you get closer to the person that you've been watching for years.